deal with copyright in your technology?
So we're a software company, so we do not have any patents on it. We don't believe patents would be effective because they take about 3 years to get, and by that time our software will likely be obsolete. So we have not thought about patenting it all. Copyright is intrinsic. If you make something and put a little C on it, it's copyright. If you want to sue someone, you might have to register the copyright, but that's free. You can file online. So we're not overly concerned with that. Anything else?
How did you build your team?
Sort of organically. We started with, the reason I mentioned CS194 is that we started this project in my class. And so we just put a group of friends together, all CS majors, and built it. And then as we went along, kept talking and decided what people wanted to do. Some people wanted to stay on with the project, some people wanted to leave. And so over this summer, we had a few people help us out, but then at the end of the summer we were down to 3 people. It was Kimber and I and my friend from Carnegie Mellon who met at Apple. So then we realized, okay, let's try to bring some more people on. How do we do that? And we started sending out job posts and posting on jobs boards, and you get a ton of quantity. We had like 60 resumes come in, and we read through them and talk to people on the phone. And unfortunately, it's really hard to find very good people online. And so we took a step back and went back to our friends and just talked with friends and tried to find friends of friends who are looking for a job or who are good or you can steal away from your current job. It's one of the tips I heard another startup's doing this. Every employee they hire, they force them to write down a list of the 20 best engineers they know, and you could do the same for marketing, the same whatever field you're hiring in, and then immediately reach out to those people and sort of virally recruit. And because you have to work under the impression that anyone who's really, really good already has a job. And so you're not going to find someone who happens to be looking. You're going to instead persuade someone that your opportunity is better than their current. And so really interviewing anybody, and I felt the same way as a student, you're interviewing and you think you're trying to sell yourself. It doesn't work that way at all. If the company's trying to sell you, unless the company's Google, Microsoft, Apple. So for startups, it's completely, hiring is basically sales.
How did you approach getting funding?
We started talking with people. One of the sort of lessons you might have heard before is that never, when you're looking for money, never ask for money. And so we started emailing out to people we had met through events like this that we'd attended, through ETL speakers that we had known, saying, so we're thinking of raising money, what should we do? How should we approach it? And that's how you sort of get into these meetings. And they know you're actually looking for money. It's obvious that. So you just sort of start talking with a lot of people saying, like, help me out, what should I do? How do I think through this? And hopefully something will.
How did you get your initial employees to work for you? Did you start paying them right away, or did you offer them equity?
We did not. So we were fortunate in that we were all in school at the time. So no one really needed money. And so we did it all with him. And we didn't bring on, so my friend Jim, who recruited from Apple, we weren't able to bring him on until after we raised money, simply because he was working out, we would have had to pay him. Yeah, so I would strongly recommend bootstrapping as long as possible. Find people who really believe in the idea and will work on it for free. Because you see it as a learning experience. Here at school, it's a side project, like, let's see what we can do, and have that attitude about it.
Speaking of which, how long did your side project take a week, just to give folks an estimate? How many hours did you spend on it a week?
Oh, in a week. It varied. At the beginning, so the way it really started out was the winter of junior year, we put together a group of friends and met twice a week. It ended up being about 2 hours each time. We would meet from like 10 to midnight or something, and talk about ideas. Because this was a group of friends who were all interested in startups, and we're just, let's brainstorm business ideas. And so we would meet and run through just random topics that we had heard about online or whatever. And every time we would come up with an idea that we swore was like the best idea in the world and it was going to kill Google and it would be amazing. And so then we'd leave and be all happy, and then we'd think about it for the rest of the week, and we'd come back and realize that it had to be the stupidest idea in the whole world. Because so many people had already done it, because it would cost way too much money to actually launch, et cetera, et cetera. And so the way we started is after like 2 months of this process, we sort of got tired of that and said, all right, we're stepping back. Let's just build a site where we can share all these amazingly bad ideas. And so that's what I would strongly recommend is don't think too hard about is this the right idea or not. Just build it. Build something, and it'll migrate. Because the second you have something, then you have people who are using it or buying it or interested in it, and they'll tell you what they think. So don't spend all your time brainstorming. Just put something out there and see what happens.
So now you have funding, and you guys look like you're getting ready to launch a beta.
The site is live. We
That's
launched it in May,
Okay.
and we've been iterating it very rapidly.
Okay, so what you showed us was a different iteration.
Yes, so let me step back there. This is a screenshot of what it is going to look like in about 2 weeks. The project, I would strongly recommend, check it out. Actually, I have a little sheet if you want an email about it. You can write your email address on. And try to use it for your class projects, because we designed it originally with that in mind, that we were tired of working on something and having to email it around. So instead you just post it, and all the feedback comes to you, and you can address it really easily. So it's live, it'll get a lot better soon.
Well, I guess what my question was going to be was, what is going to be your next step? I guess getting the word out.
Good question, yeah. We're focused, so it's both focused at individuals, but then the real value proposition is what it can do for enterprises if you have multiple teams working on documents using the same software, so it's all sort of in the same place. So we're working on putting out an enterprise beta program. So we're talking with a few companies, and we're going to run a beta test and see how it works for them and what changes they need, because their needs are different than an individual working with a loose-knit team. So seeing how that goes, yeah. So that'll carry us through the Thank you. I guess that's it.